All right. Hey, Sheldon. So thank you so much for coming in today, man. I had fun catching up. Again, I think the theme for this video and kind of what the next month on those knees looks like is, I don't want to dive too deep into any one category. Category being, quad strength, hamstring stretching, calf work, stability, balance. I don't want to go too deep into any one of those, because I think the best bet right now is just to kind of work lightly in all of those categories. We need to hit the quad, we need to hit the calf, we need to hit the hamstring, we need to hit the hip, we need to hit stability, balance, control. Again, not too worried about the performance side of things. We talk about that pyramid. I don't want to get too high in that pyramid. I want to do basic things you can do several times a day to invigorate and empower the knees rather than beat them down. So too much of the activity lately has been beating them up and beating them down. We want to give them power. I want you to get done with the exercise and not feel sore. I want you to feel better than you did walking into that exercise. So bear with me. No real rhyme or reason here. Just here's everything I want you to work on, and you just do your best to sprinkle it in. If we're having trouble sprinkling these in or making them happen, please reach out again and let's fix it sooner than later. So, all right, man. So, first one, my favorite one, I think, is going to be this lunge move. Again, this will work good on the stairs, or if you want a little more height, then maybe that second stair can give you then couch, bench, something at home where you can put your foot up on. So. Name of the game is getting that knee over the toe, get a good stretch. Put weight on this front. As you lean forward, you want to put more weight on the front leg, so you're challenging the muscle. We're getting a good stretch on the front of the knee. Also a little bonus, we get a little Achilles, little calf stretch. So into that, and then right back to your hamstring stretch. Remember hamstring, we talked about arching our back. Little hamstring, a little bonus there. So this is just back and forth. We are honestly killing 4 or 5 birds with one movement here. All right, hamstring with good posture. Here we got ankle, knee, quad. Heck, you can get a little extra hip stretch, a little hip flexor stretch on this side. So I just want you to get really good at this movement. The higher the step, the easier it is, because you're putting less force on that knee. I don't want her to do our lunges down on the floor yet. That's just going to be too much force. But if you do start to kick butt on that one, and you want to go to a lower stair, be my guest. And then what that affords you is a little more stretch, a little more stress to that knee, a little more ankle stretch, a little better hamstring stretch. So we're aiming to get lower eventually, but it's not a big rush. Not a big rush. Just get really good at this movement, both legs. Boom, to hamstring. Lunge to hamstring. Absolutely love that one. The other one for quad strength that we came up with was, we did this lateral step up, and then I do think that you do best when you have a little bit of something under your heel. That could be a wedge, that could be a little, that could be a weight, that could be a plate, that could be a book. It does not matter. So your heel a little bit elevated, and then just doing those step ups. That was challenging, especially on that right quad. That was hard. That right quad is significantly weaker than the left. So doing a lot of reps here. Again, your reps were a little bit plopping down. I want control and steadiness. Focus on the quad. We want all this stress to be quad and not under the knee. If you're feeling it under the knee, the prop should help. Holding on should help. And just going slower will help, because when you go fast, you tend to roll onto your toes. I don't want toes. I want you to push in through your heel. That's what that wedge does. It lets you push through the heel a little bit better. So again, don't really care about reps there. A lot of reps on both legs whenever you can. Don't overdo it. We don't want to get into soreness, but again, invigorating for the quads. We're trying to wake them up right now. We know that calf was tight. So I just want you spending some good time stretching that right calf. You can use the wedge, you can use a stair, but I prefer this kind of stretch going into the stretch, a forward stretch, as opposed to, I'm sure you've done, these kind of stretches where you shoot behind your body. You don't get enough stress there, plus that aims a little bit lower. We want to get right where your knot is, so we want that knee as straight as possible. So that's a wonderful stretch. Again, whenever you can sprinkle that one in, great. 2 more. Bear with me. We had I forgot to give you a band today, man. I'm sorry, we got busy talking there at the end. I did not give you a band. If you can get access to a band, if you get to, we talk about getting to a gym, heck, I'll email you where I get these bands pretty cheap on Amazon, if you want me to. But I like the idea of band behind the knee and then just working on locking and unlocking. Locking and unlocking. This is so important, especially for that right leg where you feel instability. You feel like it's going to give out on you. This is how we fight that giving out. We get better at this angle, these last 10 degrees. This is where all that buckling wants to happen. So again, put some weight on that right leg. If you can do single legs, whew, it's a wonderful workout. Again, with the focus on stability and balance. So try to make a band happen. If you don't end up getting a band, a good alternative to this one is to roll up a towel, put it behind your knee against the wall, and just push into the towel or a pillow or something like that. You get resistance, but again, we don't want this to be brutal resistance. We want this just to be something for your knee to work against. So a pillow against the wall or a band, if we can make that one happen. And then the last one, we want to get some good stretch in those knees. They're a little stiff, comes with the territory. So instead of doing old quad stretch like this, which was straining the hamstring and that calf, find something at a good height here, about hip high, where you can rest it, and then from there you lean back. You can lean down if you want, but I also really like leaning back to get that quad. So I prefer this quad stretch for now. The hope is you do it like this for a few weeks, and then boom, this one's no problem. We're not quite to that one yet. Plus the lunge is also a very good knee stretch, as you can tell. So I think the combination of lunging and doing a propped quad stretch like this, I think that's a really good combo for you. So we're addressing the hamstring, we're addressing the quad, we're getting the quad stronger, we're addressing stability with that pushing into the band or the wall, we're addressing the calf with the dedicated calf stretch. One that we didn't really go over a lot today, but I know you talked about your history, is that hip tightness and getting that knee kind of over to the opposite shoulder. Keep doing that one for sure. Again, this is a big shotgun approach right now. We got 5 or 6 different moves we're trying to introduce and get really good at those techniques. The hope is if we meet up in a month or 6 weeks or 2 months, whatever you want to do, then we start to, all right, the calf's not a big a problem, the hamstring's not as big a problem. Let's really focus on that quad strength, and then we're going to get down to maybe just 2 or 3 really good moves. And that's what I want to, that's going to be what gets you back into basketball and all the good stuff, man. So I'm done talking. That's a lot. Good luck. Please keep me posted. Any questions? I want to get ahead of it if we can. So let's do it. Have a good one. Have a good trip. And I will see you later. Bye.